Just you remember you met Henrietta Jacobson. You might say I never took a backward step in my life until that depression whipped me. Took away my man, my home, and a section of good land back in Saskatchewan. Left me with nothing. Just you remember that.
I don't want a Rolls Royce, mister. I don't want a pleasure yacht. All I want is food for my babies. Give me my old job back.
Some people want to forget that it ever happened. That God-fearing third-generation Canadians starved to death in city alleyways and in their lousy farms on the prairie. It happened. And the experts, the economists, the government, did they know what was going on? No. They still don't.
Think me dumb if you wish, mister. Call me green or blue or red. This one thing I sure know, mister. My hungry babies must be fed.
It's like there's a conspiracy to hide those years. Why can't we just admit that we walked around with holes in our souls? And did things that our upbringing and our pride would never let us do? I mean, how can you appreciate where you are if you don't know where you've been?
We work to build this country, mister, while you enjoyed a life of ease. You stole it all that we built, mister. Now our children starve and freeze.
Don't tell me we survived the Depression. No. 1929 to 1939, the whole country just stopped. Nothing moved. 10 lost years.
I don't want your millions, mister. I don't want your diamond ring. All I want's the right to live, mister. Give me back my job again. Give me back my job again. Down in the valley so low, late in the evening, hear the train blow. Hear the train blow, dear. Hear the train blow. Late in the evening, hear the train blow.
I love the long whistle of a train at night, moving down the valley 6 miles south of our farm. A long call to other places. Always at night as I lay in my little bed in the attic. You know why I love that sound? Because that train was a passenger train. That train was going to Vancouver. Or to Winnipeg and on to Toronto. Escape. Get away. Leave the farm. You might think romance, but to get away. I was 20, I had my teacher's training, and I ought to taught for free just to be given a chance, but no, there was sweet, dear Margaret at home again with a family that was dying. Dying inside. The Depression was whipping us. Literally, I mean. Every time you went outside, that wind, that constant wind, it just whipped you. I used to think that if the rest of the country was like us, lost and dying on 320 acres of Saskatchewan land, then Canada was finished. But there was always that train, that whistle. There was something in me, some kind of a, I don't know, crazy clock, and I would wake at night just moments before that whistle was to blow. That train's going to Vancouver. Through the Rockies and the Selkirks and the Purcell Mountains and on through the Monashee. What a lovely name. And down to the sea. And I would take off my shoes and walk along the sand, and the waves would wash over me. And I would write my sad thoughts with a stick in the sand, and the waves would wash away those words, and those sad times would be gone forever. You must be able to see what it was like, living on a farm, in a house that hadn't seen a splash of paint in 10 years. My mother, making do with nothing, like an old woman, saving useless string and hoping someone would come along and buy string. And Dad, up there, day after day, hot and hotter on the iron seat of that cultivator, trying to coax a little something out of the soil, but everything was dying. It had been for years. A way of life was dying, and no one could weep. I've seen my father after dinner walk down the lane to where his first field began, past where the creek used to be full of good water, and there was nothing. Once I saw him out there, I don't think he was quite understanding what was happening. Sounds travel a long way in dry country, and the call of a whistle came up then from the south. I saw him lift his head and look into the distance for a long while, and then his head moved around slowly to the west, as if following that train. And I was wondering if he was thinking that out there in British Columbia, there was a country full of fresh, pure, cool water right off the mountains, more than any people could want. And here we were, dying for water. I finally left, about 2 years later. Doesn't everybody?